For there shall be sedition amongst men, and invading one another. Didn't we see that during the virus when they not during the virus, the same time where they were letting migrants in, and you had gangs taking over whole buildings? Now imagine when there's no jobs with very little resources amongst the poor. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, which means they're not going to care what the government says after they've realized the government have actually betrayed the people. They're going to realize all at once they were lied to, like Biden and others did, fluffing up the numbers to make people believe that the economy was fine, making people believe that jobs was going to come back. At the same time, they're outsourcing all the jobs that are left. When you pick up a service call, you're calling another country that's making money that should belong to the citizens. The little jobs that left, the government have already gave them to the others. So when people finally realize that this is their current state, survival kicks in. The survival of the fittest. I have to get it how I get it. And that's, folks, that's the environment they're cultivating right now. Politically, they have done this intentionally. So people are not going to regard the government officials, and they know it. So even if somebody wanted to help politically, Elder Gaja, it's an impossibility. Because they're going to realize the government officials sold out their own people to the beast. Now, where does Christians come in? I'm going to show you in a moment. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. Through the riots, when people realize that their money, that the banks have crashed. Well, if there's no banks, how can you actually do any business? If there's no banks, how can you hope to move yourself into a new tax bracket when business has ceased? So they use a lot of the emergency money to fluff up the banks also during the time when things shut down so that people couldn't panic. At the same time, Biden, Elder Gabar, shut down the petrol industry, the gas industry, all of that they shut down in the United States so that America wasn't producing anything that would make it worth something in bolstering the GDP. It made sure America wasn't making anything to go into debt. Then it started funneling all this money with the pandemic and all these others and immigration so that they can flatten America to an irreparable position where it doesn't matter who you vote in. No one can repair what they did in the last 4 years as far as finances go. And then the people are sick on top of it. So the people are going to lose their minds. They're not going to regard the kings. These are the politicians. So the politicians are going to have to put in military measures.